This is where your family's always at number one here at 96.5. The family show this morning at Liam and Robbie. We're talking online fears with your kids right now with our social media expert, Richenda joins us from Integrity Agency. And the fact that our kids actually have an online identity, should we be afraid of that? Or is that just the way it is? Richenda, every child today will have the age of internet. It's not like it came around, as we were finishing high school. Everyone's got an online identity. They embrace it. Why don't we as parents?
They're great questions. This next generation, the ones born 95 to 2009, they're called Generation Z, and they've actually never lived without the internet. But that doesn't mean that they are slaves to it. It's more like they're masters of the internet. And I get asked a lot about internet use in young people, and they do have an online identity. That identity is important to them. It says who they are and what they stand for. So understanding it is really a great first step. I was talking to a 15-year-old a couple of weeks ago about this, who told me that the number of likes that he gets on a Facebook post that he puts up matters to him. It can mean that if it's a large number, that's something that he's excited about, and if it's low, it makes him question what he's posted, and it's not something for me to have judgment on, but it's just a reality to accept that what kids are sharing really matters to them. So I guess the first question that we really look at when we think about things like this is to understand it, to have those questions, to not dismiss it, but to really look at, does this mean something to my child? And if it does, let's have a discussion about it and what it means in their life.
What sort of age are you talking about, Richenda? Are we talking the teenage years or even younger than that, sort of even mid-primary, you start having the serious talks?
It really depends on the child and how they're using the internet now. You can be talking to quite young children when it comes to using games, online games. A lot of online games have facilities where they're talking with friends through them. Or tweens are definitely a very important age to talk to. Most, for Facebook at least, permission is around 13 to be able to use that platform. But a lot of the other platforms like Instagram, even Snapchat, they're giving children access to that at very young ages, and it mostly depends on if they have a mobile phone. Absolutely, if they're tweens. Before that, that's a bit of a question mark because it comes down to parents' phone use and use of the computer, which obviously they can put limitations on.
So if we're making the assumption then that it's here to stay and it's going to be a part of our kids' lives, your top tip on navigating through, is it about embracing, encouraging, or just being cautious?
It is here to stay, and it's going to be a bigger part of their education system, their experience at school, how they work. It's a very normal part of their lives. I think it's something to embrace, but obviously have some limitations on that as well. But it starts with looking at yourself. We are also massive users of our smartphones. I know I can say that I'm guilty of looking at my phone probably more than I should be. It's a question to ask yourself as well. And looking at, the things that I post online, are they a true reflection of who I am? Am I being true to myself? And also, that line of what kind of person am I online? Am I showing that I'm my best version of myself? Am I kind and encouraging, or am I a person that goes on rants on Facebook and criticizes people?
So kind of making sure that your kids are authentic online, so that they are, everyone's a little amplified, I guess, online, but they're not making stuff up. We didn't really do that on the weekend, and is that really the person you want to be? Just really checking in on what they do and making sure they're as they are online as they are offline, just looking for their authenticity would be a start?
Absolutely. You're spot on. It's, we know as parents, well, I can say I'm going to be a parent in a couple of months, so I'll speak to that directly then. But, as parents talk about setting a good example for their kids, and sometimes maybe forget that applies to the internet as well. So looking at who we are and how we talk to people, and do we let an amount of likes determine if we're happy or not, to determine our value? We absolutely shouldn't. So it all starts at home, and it starts with how we use the internet ourselves.
I mean, they say that parents are still the most have the strongest influence on kids, a lot older than we realise. And what you're saying really is leading by example. No different that, go back 20 years, kids learnt their social skills by watching their parents at a party or dealing with the neighbours.
Lead by example.
So it's no different online, is it?
Absolutely, you're spot on.
How to navigate your way through with your kids doing this little thing called the interminetti.
Let's try that one day.
That is here to stay. Richenda Vermeulen, our social media expert, with some top tips for mums and dads today. Thank you, Richenda. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Take care. We're families always at number one right here at 96.5.